Come on, let's go on a journey and learn about reliability and validity in research. Ba-da-da-da. Welcome to another Journey with Chris, where we will obtain new levels of knowledge and awesomeness. Hello scholars, today we're going to journey through reliability and validity. On our journey we're going to cover types of reliability and types of validity. Reliability is the degree to which a research instrument, an instrument is another word for a survey, so it's the degree to which a research instrument produces consistent results. Have you ever seen the guy at the carnival who tries to guess your weight? If he's right, he gets to keep your dollar. But if he's wrong, you get a stuffed animal. Okay, well, let's say one day I go to that carnival guy and he guesses that I weigh 110 pounds. Okay, let's say I come to him the next week and he guesses that I weigh 130 pounds. Well, his guess isn't very consistent or reliable, is it? Okay, let's compare the carnival guy to my bathroom scale. I step on the scale and I weigh 120 pounds. A couple of days later, I step on the scale and I weigh 120 pounds again. Now, that's more consistent compared to the carnival guy trying to guess my weight. It's not possible to exactly calculate the reliability or consistency of a research instrument, but we can estimate it in a few different ways. The first is test-retest reliability. This is when the same instrument, so the same survey, is given to a group of people at two different times. The results from those people from the first time they filled out the instrument are compared to the results from the second time in order to determine how well the instrument consistently produced the same results from those people. The second is called parallel forms reliability. This is when a group of people complete two similar versions of an instrument. Each version of the instrument are trying to measure the same thing. Then the results from the two versions are compared in order to determine the consistency of the results between similar versions of an instrument. The third is internal consistency reliability. This is when different instrument items, an item is another word for a question on the survey. So this is when different instrument items that are trying to measure the same construct are compared to see how they produce similar results. There are two types of internal consistency reliability. The first is average inter-item correlation. This is when a group of people complete an instrument and then all of the items on the instrument that are measuring the same construct are compared to each other, one at a time in pairs. Then the items are compared overall to create an average of those comparisons. Okay, the next is split half reliability. This is when a group of people complete an instrument and then all of the items on the instrument that are measuring the same construct are split in half. So it's split into two groups to form two sets or two groups of items. Then the two sets of items are compared to each other to see how well they consistently measure the construct. That's split half reliability. Okay, the next is inter-rater reliability. This is when the decisions from different raters, a rater is a researcher who rates or judges a variable or variables in the research study. So this is when the decisions from different raters are compared to each other to see how consistent the different judges' decisions or ratings are. For instance, have you ever been to the website ratemyprofessors.com? Sometimes it seems like a professor is rated the same way by all of the students. Sometimes it's the other way around. Sometimes half of the students give a positive rating and the other half give a negative rating about that professor. Inter-rater reliability compares all of the ratings from each rater or judge to see how consistent they are. If a professor on ratemyprofessor.com always gets positive ratings, then there is good inter-rater reliability among the judges or the raters. In this case, it's the students. If half of the students hate the professor and the other half love the professor, then there is low inter-rater reliability among the students. Okay, let's talk about validity. Validity is how accurate an instrument is at measuring what it's trying to measure. Let's go back to the weight example. Let's say I hop on my bathroom scale every day, and every day it says that I weigh 120 pounds. That's reliable, that's consistent. But let's say that the scale is off by 50 pounds because I actually weigh 170 pounds. So even though the scale is reliable, it's not valid. It's not accurately measuring how much I really weigh. There's a bunch of different ways of determining the validity of a research instrument. The first is face validity. This is when researchers simply look at the items on the research instrument and they give their opinion if the items appear to accurately measure what they're trying to measure. Face validity is the least scientific way of determining if your instrument items are valid. Face validity is just the researcher's opinion if the items look valid or not. The second is construct validity. This is when we are able to generalize about our construct of interest because we are actually measuring that construct, accurately measuring that construct. Think of construct validity as being truthful in how we are labeling our construct. For example, let's say that we are measuring a construct called the love of coffee, like what we did in class. But all of our instrument items are about enjoying the smell of coffee. So are we really measuring the love of coffee? Can we really talk about the love of coffee since our instrument only has items about enjoying the smell of coffee? The answer is no. We can only generalize or talk about, in our findings, the smell of coffee. If we try to generalize about the love of coffee, even though we're only asking about people's enjoyment of the smell of coffee, we would have low construct validity. Okay, let's talk about criterion-related validity. This is when the results from the instrument accurately relates or predicts some kind of external variable that's related to the construct or the concept or whatever it is that we're studying. The classic example is SAT scores and its criterion, its external variable of college performance. So here, look, the SATs are designed to measure literacy skills, writing skills, and how well test takers analyze and solve problems. The SATs have criterion-related validity by comparing SAT scores to an external variable that relates to SAT scores, like college GPAs. Those who score well on the SATs tend to get good grades in college. So a college GPA is the external variable that is used to show that the SATs have criterion-related validity. Finally, let's talk about content validity. This is how well an instrument covers the range of meanings included within a concept that's being measured. For example, if we are measuring the love of coffee, we need to cover the wide range of meanings and indicators regarding the love of coffee. So we will include items not just about enjoying the smell of coffee, but also enjoying the taste of coffee or the effects of coffee and so on. Or if we're trying to measure tobacco use, we don't just measure cigarette use, we have to measure all forms of tobacco use. So cigarettes, smokeless tobacco, hookah, every snuff, dip, everything that we're looking at with tobacco use. In conclusion, reliability is the degree to which a research instrument produces consistent results. Validity is how accurate an instrument is at measuring what it is trying to measure. There are several different types of reliability and validity. Thanks for a great journey, and I'll see you in class.